This time on Woody's Garage. What the hell is that?
Well, what do we have here? I have no idea. I'm on Craigslist for 20 bucks today. Threw the handlebars on it. They weren't on there. Just screwed it on so I could move the thing around. Some homemade aluminum fenders. Been kind of treated. There's two of them. And one that looks original. Looks like there's a Harbor Freight back wheel on it. Guessing that might be a stock front wheel. Engine looks like a place for a jack shaft. The grips say Rome or Romy. There's a frame for the seat. They go about like this. Don't know. I got no room for this. I'm gonna get some air in the tires and at least I can move it around. I brought it in the basement to have a look at it. I had a lot of yard work and stuff to do, so I didn't really look at it too much. I noticed the engine plate is kind of floating around. I assume the welds let go, but I'm not certain. I'm not quite sure what it's held down underneath. These are probably brackets for a jack shaft. I think I already said that. I like that the foot pegs are here. I mean, they make a pretty cool chopper, I think. But, I don't know. Actually have suspension, or is this just fake? I didn't even try to push up and down on them. You know? Can't believe the rubber's this good. Okay, I just realized, yeah, the engine shouldn't be that way. The plate goes this way. Yeah, so it's another 20-degree deal. You know, pain in the butt. I bet that's threaded rod too for that axle. You can tell with the handlebars that these are bicycle handlebars and that they had a clamp, like a motorcycle clamp or like a rup. You know, that held the handlebars in place, which definitely is the way to go. This is kind of goofy looking. Oh, look at these handlebars. Look at how they stick down. What, Schwinn, I think, did this, didn't they? Front tire's a 6-inch and the back is a 6. It's a Carlisle with the 2 Indian heads. I don't know if that means anything. I think maybe it's the other style tire that is the ones everybody's after, not these. But, and like I said before, I think this is just a Harbor Freight wheel. The guy probably put on there. He said he bought it and he just never did anything with it, so he just sold it. Alright, I'm guessing too that there's nuts and bolts up here that hold the leg in. And the leg might have some springs or something in there. Who knows, it'd be interesting to take off. I have no idea why the front wheel's all loose like that. Maybe just threw it on there so that it was together. Yeah, those bushings look like they'll work. What's the deal with these big brake hub things? They're like pretend disc brakes or something. Oh, really strange. This rear setup is very strange too. Like how these are open. Let the bugs crawl up in there. See, that's where the suspension, the rear shock's attached. And that's a, I don't know, a hole And then these, who knows what, maybe a disc brake holder? I don't know, do we have them on the other side? Yeah, we do have them on the other side. And it looks like, sorry for the bad camera work. No, I was going to say that there's some adjustment, but no. I thought it was adjustable wheel, but no, it isn't. Very odd and awkward. Well, it's the next day, and I find out that this is an MTD Trail Flite or something like that. Has some model number, 1971. It was quite different. I'll put a picture of it in the video. What I want to do today is just start thinking about things. I want to take off the brake and the throttle. They're so decrepit. I mean, it's like ancient stuff. And just to get them out of the way, the cables are dangling off them. I might be able to salvage the cables. Well, maybe not that one. But that's what I'm going to do. See if we can save this cable here. It's nice. I think it's a motorcycle cable. Right now it won't budge at all. I'll just put a little oil. Yeah, these are just straight heads. You know, it pays to, like, as soon as you get something home, to put oil on everything that is going to be taken apart. So it comes apart easy when you want to take it apart. It's a nice looking throttle, really kind of heavy duty. Look at the width of that cable end there. I'm going to get the cable out and look at things. I like the tape job. Well, we couldn't save the cable, but I think we saved the throttle. Looks still usable. Oh yeah, looking slick now. Yeah, so the cables are off. I just put, you know, this is the goofiest brake lever in the world for this mini bike, but, you know, it kind of fits this mini bike. I'm starting to like these bars for some reason. They're just so funny. I actually found some clamps from a Yamaha 100 to clamp the handlebars down for like $4 on eBay. Shipped. $4 shipped. So I had to go for that. So that'll help to relocate the bars back to about here. That's one of the holes for the back, and the other one's like right here. They drilled extra holes. Plus the original handlebars were like one piece and they curved around here, then came back out like this, and that's what that hole's for. Yeah, front axle's kind of frozen, so we're going to have to pound it back and forth a little bit. Perhaps get some heat on it, but I think it'll go with just when some lube gets in there. The axle's out. It's really kind of nice. It's like chrome, the whole thing. Like, you know, nice cap there. Crappy nut, but bushings are a little stiff. I'm going to have to hone them out a little bit so they move a little better. I think that's why it was loose, because it's just going to stick into the axle. Maybe a little sandpaper or something in there. But I really want to check out this weird ass wheel and see what these oh yeah, wow, the bearings ride in these things, so you got to have them. I was gonna ditch them. Wow, that is wacky. Oh yeah, and those bearings don't feel very good. I've got these two tire wheels that would look better than that other one. This, I think this is a Powerdyne. I think that's the name. Both of these are not rear wheels. I don't think you can make this one into a rear wheel, and I don't think you can make this one. This is a Manco, and it's cut out. And people say like they've never seen one like that before. Maybe somebody did that. I don't really know. But you probably could not use this as a back wheel. I mean, if you drill these things out, you just have no support anymore. But I like the way it looks, and I like it how it's gold. So it may go on the front instead of this weirdo Ugly. I am going to pull apart the front end too. I mean, I can see now. I mean, I'm pulling up and down, the travel is about, you know, 1/3 of an inch. But I don't know, maybe the springs are hung up. Up here is the nut and bolt to take probably the whole unit out, and I'm guessing the spring's up at the top. The tube's probably, you know, a little smaller than it angles out like that, and the spring probably sits on it and goes like this. We'll see if I'm right. So I can kind of see how these are made. They're kind of like the rup they screw onto this piece here. But right now it's not budging, and it's got an eye hole up here, and this is what the bolt went through. So I think ideally you'd twist them out and leave the spring up in there, but then how would you get grease on the spring? So, well, I'm going to give them a bit of a clean and then just reinstall them. And the other one looks about the same, old and lonely. Like it's been stuck up that damn tube for so long with nothing. Amazing how this rubber has held up. It's simply amazing. Yeah, grease the legs up. They slid right back in. As soon as they got up here, you could see the top of the spring. You could see it past the hole, and you just put the nut and bolt through, and you're all set. This is the that power dyne wheel. I want to see what it would look like while I'm dealing with the bearings on the other one. And by the way, that wheel, that original wheel, that thing weighs a ton. But yeah, I think this one looks pretty cool. Okay, we popped these out. I'll give you kind of an idea of what it looks like in there. You can kind of see that big hub, and then it's the same on the other side. Then there's a bearing, and there's a center. I like this setup where the bearings fit over these, and the center tube keeps the bearings from getting compressed. Now when I pulled this out, this side was kind of loose, came right out, and it pulled the shaft out with it, and this bearing is good. Now the other bearing is very stiff, and it cannot be found at this, oh here it is, at this time. So get some lube in here. These are kind of like, have a rubber cover that you can actually remove if you're careful and put it back on. Or at least, I've done it before, and sometimes it's working, sometimes it hasn't. But we'll see if we can free it up, use some like PB Blaster as a solvent to get in there and see if it frees it up. So I put that bearing in my oil bath. Kind of like a parts cleaner, except for it's oil. And maybe some oil will penetrate in there. Maybe not. We took off the rear wheel. Yeah, definitely a Harbor Freight job. Now, I saw some video. Somebody put one of these on a mini bike, and it actually held up. It looked like exactly like this one. But, you know, those little tiny Harbor Freight tires that I've gotten, just the tubes inside them just fall apart in like no time. But this bolt pattern, you know, if I measure this out, maybe I can find a sprocket that'll work with it. You know, I wouldn't mind going with this if it worked. It's not great, but it's a rear wheel that I don't have to buy. Yep, threaded rod for the rear axle. Oh no. Yeah, that's got a, the size is 5/8. The bearing is 5/8. So, don't think I have a 5/8 axle kicking around, but probably Lowe's or Home Depot. Get a long bolt, at least for now. The cable came back pretty good. Let's get some more oil down it and keep doing this for a while. I pulled the bearing out of the oil bath, and no, it didn't do anything. It didn't penetrate the rubber seals like I was hoping it would do, so we're going to see if we can pry up those rubber seals and get that freed up. Yeah, someday this will work like a regular cable. It's heavy duty anyway. Alright, here is that bearing. And this is a tool, looks like kind of a dental tool or something. Don't know where the heck I got this. But you can try to get under it. I'm going to keep doing this till I, not prying up an edge, but prying up a bigger piece, if you know what I mean. Might take a bit. There we go. I put some lube on top, and I got it pretty easy. And that's all there is. And then, and there are your ball bearings. Looks so nice and crusty, don't they? Let's fill them up with this. Doesn't look like any oil penetrated in there at all. Those seals, I guess, actually work. And more than just dust, I guess you can't get oil in there. Okay, we'll let this sit, and then we'll see if we can free it up. Yeah, it came back pretty good. Still gonna wash it out with gasoline and then re-grease it. And I found a 5/8 axle to replace this threaded rod stuff. And I threw the Manco wheel on the hollow one. See what it looks like. Yeah, tremendous. Actually, I do really like it. Okay, I put some PVC spacers in the wheels just for now. Just see if I'm going to go with this wheel, and I'll make some metal ones. But yeah, I like that wheel much better than the other wheel. And I turned the fender around. I thought it looked dorky the way it was. So, long ends in the back now. I think that looks better. Idea for the seat here. Sorry about all this clutter. I know it's really hard to see anything. But this bar, with it just sticking out like that, you know, if I can clamp that bar in, you know, the seat will just be hanging over the end like that. And no support bars. I don't want any support bars if I can help it. Yeah, it's kind of the look I'm going for. We got a piece of U bracket, or U metal, U-shaped and I just have it clamped temporarily here, and then the seat would mount here. You know, I'd probably put a couple of pieces sticking out this way to support the seat, but you know, it would just trail off without anything else holding it. I just would have to figure out a way to make these beefy. Maybe I could weld in pieces. But, yeah, I think that's kind of neat. Because I don't want to put support pieces up. Another thing I was thinking of is coming straight up here. Probably mention this. And maybe having some little springs there. But I kind of don't want that either. Because the back of it's so damn ugly with this stuff. I kind of want to like take your eye off of it, I think. Yeah, I stuck one screw in it for now in the back. Let's see if I like it. Yeah, I just had to throw something on there. Little Briggs Golden Boy, 2 horsepower, ancient. Look at the shaft on it. It's like 1/2 inch or something. Too bad I don't think you can get a clutch for it. But it's low power, but boy, it just has that great sound to it. The rear fender just mocked up there. There's no holes drilled in it or anything. I also have the original front fender. I wonder if that would look better. Yeah, I forgot I have this seat too. These are, this is probably like a Harley buddy seat or something. And that's a Sissy bar pad. They work pretty good for mini bikes, albeit small. You wouldn't want to sit on them for a long time. Unless you got a little tiny butt.